Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is my good friend Yvonne Blaszczyk, President and CEO of BMG Group. Welcome back, Yvonne.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's such a huge pleasure having you on back to Wall Street Silver. Last time we had you on, we had, such an incredible reception from all the silver and gold community. I wanted to get you back on to talk about what's happening next for gold and silver. It's such an exciting time. Where do you believe gold is going now? A lot of people are talking about the volatility. Can you speak on that?
I do believe that gold is proceeding to $3,000 an ounce. I don't know exactly when, but it's definitely heading there. There is a sentiment of certain people that don't believe in gold. So what they do, I don't know if it's a wishful thinking or just the skewed analysis that they think, oh, the gold is going to go down, is volatile. I think the entire world is volatile.
Yeah.
That's what we have to look at. So gold is a kind of one component that is perhaps very solid. Today, when we spoke last week, the gold went up again.
Right.
Today, the gold is $2,772 an ounce. Silver is $34, over $34 an ounce. So the momentum is there. The gold is climbing up and it will continue. I do believe that the situation has not changed. There are so many factors that influence the price of gold, and actually the role of gold in the economy and geopolitical and policy role and impact on the gold, precious metals,
Yeah.
including silver. So I think that's very, very important. I think that right now, when you think about that, and I don't know if your viewers remember, but when you look at the one of the biggest factors right now that is affecting gold and it will affect gold in the future is the creation of the coalition called BRICS.
Right.
Um, and also the geopolitical flashpoints all over the world happening here and there. So that's the major impact. That doesn't change. It still will continue. Right now, as you know, 40% of the world population belongs to the alternative system, economic and political system called BRICS.
That's
Last
that's
week,
crazy. That's a big population of the world.
not only this, the GDP of that group is 29% of the
Wow.
whole global GDP. The population is 46%. The oil production is about 40, I don't know, 42%, 43%. And
Wow.
then when you look at the export of goods, 25%. So this is a very serious proposition. And I looked at the visual representation of BRICS. And when you look, we are surrounded, the whole Asia Pacific,
Why why
Africa,
why do you
South
think
America, those countries are the ones that are members of BRICS, or right now 13 new countries were kind of admitted not as a full members, but as allies, and they may become the full members. But definitely, they are the partners for trading.
Are you seeking a secure, truly offshore solution to protect your wealth? Whether you're invested in gold, silver, or other precious metals, strategic wealth preservation is the strategic storage choice. Located in the Cayman Islands, SWP offers a state-of-the-art 6,000 square foot facility, purpose-built to safeguard your assets with unparalleled security and privacy. Why choose the Cayman Islands? This premier jurisdiction has zero taxes on stored precious metals, no reporting requirements, and complete peace of mind, making it the ideal solution for investors looking to diversify internationally. At SWP, your metals are fully segregated, allocated, and insured. You can buy online or in person. Plus, SWP has a dedicated logistics team that facilitates the global transportation of your precious metals from almost anywhere in the world. Learn more about SWP and how they can help secure your precious metals offshore. Visit swpcayman.com or call them today, and the link will be in the description below. Thanks. Right.
for everything, and also military alliances are being formed as well. So this is a very serious situation in terms of creating an alternative, not only to US dollar as a reserve currency, but alternative to our financial systems. I mentioned to you, I think before, and to the audience, your audience, that in 2014 and 15, both Russia and China created alternative a trading system, currency system, alternative to SWIFT. Right
Right.
now in Kazan, and last time I said Kazakhstan, and I
Yeah,
know
that's
one of
right.
you, I received such a wonderful reviews, and one person said, yes, yes, it's
Yeah.
this Kazan, not Kazakhstan.
Yeah, that's right.
So basically, they proposed the multi-currency system, BRICS system now, not the
Right.
one that was developed by Russia or China, which creates an even more serious proposition. Uh, when you think about that and you add this situation to what's happening with the gold reserves in the world and
Right.
what's happening with the purchases of gold, central banks are keep on buying gold like, again, I mentioned, like there is no tomorrow. Uh, and there are the reserves. I read somewhere, or according to the data, about 20% of all gold reserves are owned by BRIC countries.
Wow.
Russia owns over 8% of the gold reserves.
That's incredible. That's
That's
for the that's
incredible.
huge.
So now, when you think about it, if they are going to create a currency backed by gold, and we are not part of that system, that creates a very serious and alternative to to what we are doing right now to our Western system. So the
Right.
whole thing, the entire world is shifting from west to east. West had the hegemony of financial systems. U.S. currency is a reserve currency,
Right.
but they may have to share very soon the stage with some alternatives. Now, when you think what is happening with the BRICS countries, they're already right now, they have a local currencies backed by gold.
Wow.
And what is creating situation more complicated, I think, is a not only geopolitical problems that they are continuously popping up all over the world.
Right.
Many of them, they have a long-term historical foundation. So they are not going to go away, even if you mitigate them, if you have some peace talks or some other arrangements, those
Right.
sentiments shall remain because they've been there for a very, very long time. And maybe in a way we sometimes don't appreciate, don't understand that environment. So our solutions may not be solutions that be appropriate for them. But
Right.
what is really happening is, I think, the sanctions, the US sanctions and the European sanctions on various countries created a very fertile environment for
Right.
alternative systems. I understand that according to data, about 1/3 of all countries are under sanctions.
Wow. That's
And 60% of those countries are low income. So
wow.
imagine the pressure
Yeah, the pressure is
those
huge.
countries to find alternative. Also, there are our adversaries in many ways, politically and otherwise.
Right.
So that creates a fertile environment to the rise of a competition or some serious alternative. I call it alternative because I do believe that US dollar shall remain very strong
But the West, I
on the
guess,
world.
but the West, sorry to cut you off, Yvonne, but the West, I guess, is they pushed these certain countries into a corner where you with all these sanctions, like they just pushed them into a corner. They have no choice.
And those countries have incredible resources, natural resources.
Right.
The oil producing countries, they have historical alliances, historical sentimental alliances as well.
Right.
So it is a very serious situation. Now, we are eroding. Our system is eroding a lot because of we were for too long looking only internally at the local politics. Everyone is speaking, oh my goodness, with US elections, what will happen to gold? Well, not much. Gold is going to continue. Doesn't matter who is going to win the election.
Yeah.
Maybe one party, there'll be some kind of ideological consequences. There'll be geopolitical policies will have more impact on price of gold than
Right.
anything else. And the economy, the policies of different parties have a profound impact on the international relations. But then the gold is almost outside of that paradigm. The gold is a essential element of the financial system that we have not been part of for quite some time.
Yeah.
So that's it's a huge challenge for the future governments to align themselves with that. To
Yeah.
understand.
And there's going to be certain countries, I'm sure, who are going to be, because at the end of the day, the West and like, let's say the United States, they're going to try to continue their US dollar dominance and not allow any other alternative currencies, or they'll try to do whatever is in their power. But how long can they keep that going for, Yvonne, where they can, sooner or later, if you have 40% of the world population into BRICS, maybe it'll become 50 or 60% in the next 10, 20 years.
It could be, but I think the world is going to evolve much faster than that.
Wow.
One of the interesting point is that China, 50% of China's foreign reserves are in US dollars held.
Wow, that's a
So
lot.
that puts a bit of a brakes on bricks, sort of,
Good.
sort of. So I'm looking at this almost a dual system.
Right.
How that will translate to the local economy for us is very interesting. Typically, as you know, right now everyone anticipates another rate cuts.
Yeah.
Maybe more cuts, but at least one rate cut this year. And typically, a gold used to thrive during the low rate kind of a season.
Right.
But that may not be so because so many other factors are right now are very salient and are affecting prices of gold. But what it affects, I think, when you translate and I think a lot of politicians right now are recognizing that
Right.
to all those things that are happening in the world beyond gold to the everyday life, what is happening in the economy? What is average person concerned with? What
Right.
are the masses are going to be looking at? People would like to have another better future.
Oh yeah.
People would like to have access uh, to housing, to better prices, to gas prices that are affordable, to insurance, all different things. Life became a very different for the new generation now.
Right.
They cannot afford really the same standard of living as their parents
Right.
because of what is happening economically. The interest rates dropped, but the mortgage rates went up or didn't make much difference.
Yeah, it's a they're losing no matter what, the younger generation, whether it's devaluation of the dollar.
Is the purchasing power of the dollar
Yeah, the purchasing power.
that is hugely affected. Gas prices, everything else. Now, the when I look at different policies, the revival of the automotive industry is very critical. The creation of new jobs. I think the proposed tariffs may be very helpful for creating jobs inside US, which will
Right.
affect that international balance as well. China, it has around 4% growth. They are more likely to come to the table and
Yeah.
very nice and move some of the factories to United States but at the same time, they also have 50% of the reserve in US dollar. So they have an interest in keeping US dollar alive.
Oh
But
yeah,
at
that
the
makes
same
sense.
time, they have the interest in doing business with the coalition. So they playing kind of,
Both
with both.
sides.
exactly. They're trying to get the both of best of both worlds.
Wow.
So it's very interesting. Now also other alliances and other kind of flash points in the world, people became so accustomed, habituated to them that I
Right.
don't think they have much impact. What their impact that everyone is concerned with is what will happen if a Iran oil reserves or oil production is interrupted.
Right.
That have a major impact. Iran has a huge amount provides huge amount of oil supply. That's a big concern. But I don't think that is going to really occur. I think there'll be a limited amount of damage to that part.
Right.
It is in everyone's interest not to do that.
Yeah. No, I
So
absolutely agree with you, Yvonne. You know, it's such a crazy time in the world, and especially with the BRICS and everything happened geopolitically. But where can people connect with you? Like, where can people go to BMG? What does BMG do? I'll put the links in the description below as well.
the BMG, we've been in providing services for precious metals for over 20 years.
Wow.
We are growing very, very strongly for a very long time. We have a huge, strong foundation. We have amazing products. We have two lines. We have securities, mutual funds, which
Hmm.
are 100% precious metal. We have a gold fund, silver fund, and tri-metal fund that includes platinum. We
Wow.
don't have premiums. What do we have? We charge our clients spot price that we receive from our suppliers, plus a processing fee only. So it's a very attractive proposition for
Yeah,
those.
because that's very nice. Having no premiums on what you purchase, that's very nice.
There is a processing fee, but
Yeah.
that's when you. I don't know if you have visited post office recently to see the kind of premiums people have to pay. But also all our products are from LBMA suppliers, so they are guaranteed certified for the purity and quality. With our clients purchase let's say gold, and they wish to store it, not to have it in their house for a
Right.
variety of reasons. They are stored in private vaults, on a insured and fully allocated. That means except for the coins, every brick of gold has a serial number,
Oh, wow.
and so you know what you own. So that's yours.
That's
It cannot
nice.
be exchanged for a lesser quality or some other uh,
Right.
a refiner that is not part of LBMA. So that's really, it's wonderful. Now, somebody asked me a question, is it worth buying gold now that it's so high, the
Right.
price is so high? Well, if you go back in history, every time the same question was asked when
Oh
the gold
yeah.
$30,
2008.
800, one
Yeah.
thousand, and now is 2,700, and it's going to grow. Of course it is. But if someone cannot really uh, jump on that, you can buy a mutual fund,
Right.
which unit is at $9, and you have
Wow.
exposure to gold instead of paying 2,700. And you have to do it through your financial advisor, all the bank through the different financial institutions that carry our product that were on their platform.
Wow.
But I think the most important thing, I think, for people to not only to acquire gold, but to understand what is happening economically to them. Gold is a security, gold is a hedge against inflation, but gold is also I think, a very important element of personal stability and security. People
Right.
do worry about their future. People do worry. Someone once said, "Oh, show me the gold coin." I said, one day I'll be able to buy a house with it. I
It's
said,
true.
could be, but the house prices are going up too. So could be possibly. The interesting is that other countries, when you look at not only the gold countries with the gold reserve, but the oil
Right.
producing countries like Venezuela, they have tremendous problems and challenges, economic stagnation,
Right.
all sorts of issues. But at the same time, those countries may want to look at gold to and back their local currency with gold, and
For
they are part of
stability.
BRICS.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, those countries will go for it because
Yeah.
that will provide them with stability. They will not be dependent on US dollars. They will not be vulnerable in terms of sanctions. The other thing is the confiscation. Billions of dollars were confiscated under
Wow.
sanctions.
And
So
that's
that means
crazy.
that not really confiscated, they were frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
The interest is being confiscated. But that's a huge fear for anyone to be, my goodness, my bank account is in the jeopardy. I was in a store the other week, and
Uh-huh.
some man comes to me and said, "Oh, you are the CEO of BMG. I watch your videos and all different things."
No
And this,
way.
yes, and he said it is very good because you know something. He said that he was afraid that the banks can freeze his assets or other
No.
assets. But I said I don't think on an individual basis in a grocery store in Toronto, anyone is going to freeze your assets.
No, no.
Not really significant enough. But you see, that's how people think on
Yeah.
the individual kind of level.
Yeah, they're scared that their money is going to be frozen and tied
They're
up
scared that
in
the
things.
money will be frozen.
Yeah.
They are scared that their money will lose the purchasing value. They don't know what affects really the prices of gold and how those things are related to a much bigger picture than what we see here at our local level or
Yeah.
in the Western Hemisphere. But I have to tell you, when I look, you have to look at the map of two visual representations. You have to look at
Right.
the visual representation of BRICS countries, and
Right.
then look at the visual representation of countries under sanction. They are almost identical. They're all around the North America.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, see, the US have to be careful with their sanctions now.
Well, not only U.S., but I mean, sanctions have the political, it was a political tool
Right.
to access to address some of the adversarial situations
Right.
politically. Now, once you involve the finances to remedy political conflicts, that sometimes can have a reverse
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Uh,
it's crazy what's happening in the world, and you know, Yvonne, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Silver. Every time you come on, it's such a breath of fresh air, and you know, I absolutely love to have you back on in the future, because yeah, it's such an exciting time for precious metals in the global economy. I would love to have you back on.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure. And you know something, we tape those programs, or we have this discussion at the very late time here in Toronto. So I'm always kind of rushing to speak from the top of my head, trying
Yeah,
to
no, you nailed it. It's perfect.
convey some of the very important things that are occurring. I think we ought to pay attention. We ought to understand. People at large, those that are interested in those in finance, in politics, in investment, they are very educated on those elements, and sometimes it's nice to kind of put them together and in some visual, coherent way, say, "Wow, this is fascinating. World is amazing, and what is happening and is developing in front of our eyes."
Yeah, it's happening really quick, so it's incredible. But yeah, again, thank you so much, Yvonne, for coming down to Wall Street Silver. Everyone watching, please go check out BMG and go check out Yvonne. Please subscribe to the video, like the video. But again, Yvonne, thank you so much for coming down.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Talk to you soon.